What's up, Cyclone Nation? This is Cody from Black and Cardinal Divide. It is game day again, Thursday, September 28th. Iowa State will play Texas tonight at Jack Trice Stadium. The game is live on ESPN at 7 o'clock, so I'm stoked. I know Cyclone Nation's ready to go, locked and loaded. We fared very well in these Thursday games in the past, going 24-12 overall. The last 14 games played on Thursday night, Iowa State has gone 10-4. In my opinion, it should have been 11-3 after a highway robbery game against Texas back in 2013, where Iowa State, if you remember correctly, was robbed by some Big 12 officiating, and Jeremiah George recovered it, would have went untouched to the end zone, but the play was ruled that it was not a fumble. It was just a game that really still sticks within me. I know it was back in 2013, but that doesn't seem that long ago. But man, as a Cyclone fan, that game really fired me up, and it really felt like it was another game where Iowa State got kicked in the nuts, to be honest with you. A game that we had deserved to win, and we had some unforeseen things take place there at the end of the game that really took the game away from us, okay? Let me read this quote to you from Paul Rhodes from back in 2013 following that game. For those of you that weren't there, he was pissed off. And so was every other Cyclone fan that left the stadium that night, deservingly so. And so it's tonight's game that I still hope that these players, obviously not many of these guys were there that year. They would have been, I guess, a redshirt freshman for some of them, but I hope that the guys come out and play with the fire and intensity in the memory of that game that night, and having a win taken away from them at home against Texas. But just to Coach Rhodes' quote here, just to refresh your memory on how upsetting that night was. To make a play on the 1 yard line, he's referencing Jeremiah George when he says this, to make a play on the 1 yard line with our backs against the wall and to have it taken away from them, that's hard to express. You don't just put an arm around a guy and tell him it's going to be okay when that happens, said Rhodes. His voice was raising with each sentence, and mine too, because now that I'm rethinking about this, it pisses me off even more. I've got pretty good eyesight, Coach Rhodes said. The view I had of that gigantic screen in the north end zone showed a guy that was not down and our guy with the football. Okay, so the players need to come out and play with that mentality that they're fired up and they're ticked off because something was taken away from them that they had earned. And I'm going to give you what I think are 3 keys to the game tonight. And these are statistical things and then a couple other things we'll get to here real quickly. But the big thing for me is Iowa State has got to find the will and determination to get off the field on third down. Okay, that absolutely cannot happen. What happened against Iowa 2 weeks ago, that can't be the case tonight, or we will not win this game. Okay, our third down conversion percentage needs to be above 50% for Iowa State to win this game tonight. It's a must. It has to happen. Tomorrow morning when you guys turn on social media or read the newspaper or whatever you decide to do for your stat updates, but you look at that third down percentage if we lose this game tonight. It will not be above 50% if we lose this game. I promise you that. Okay, looking back to the UNI game, week 1, Iowa State was 7 of 15 on third down conversion rate. Okay, they won the game 42-24. Week 2, Iowa. What do? We go 4 for 14 on third down. Okay, we lose the game 44-41. But what's more important about that to me is that game never would have gone to overtime. Iowa State never would have lost that game against Iowa had they gotten a few more first downs late in that fourth quarter or in the fourth quarter at all. Okay, that Iowa team had a 10-point comeback that they had to put together and orchestrate, and a lot of the times Iowa State was helping them and enabling them to do that by not getting off the field on third down. Okay, that comeback never would have happened. It would have fallen short for the Iowa Hawkeyes, and we'd be talking about a 2-2 Iowa Hawkeye team rather than a 3-1. Okay, now looking at week 3, what do? We go 6 for 13 on third down. Okay, against Akron, we win the game 41-14. Okay, so we're getting closer and closer to that 50% third down conversion rate. Okay, now we're playing Texas, a Big 12 team tonight, national television, ESPN. We have got to get the third down conversion rate to 50% and above, or we will not win this game. It's as simple as that. Okay, the other thing, the number 2 thing for me and the 3 keys to winning tonight, the crowd and the atmosphere tonight at Jack Trice Stadium, we have got to play and sound and act like this crowd acted against Iowa in the third and fourth quarter, okay? The atmosphere has got to be electric. I know it'll be electric at kickoff. They're going to shoot off fireworks to start the game when the players run out. There's 8 NFL scouts in the house tonight, okay? It's alumni weekend. There's a Hall of Fame weekend. There's a ton of stuff going on, okay? But the crowd cannot be taken out of this game in the first half. If they are, it is going to be imperative that they find a will to get back in this game in the third and fourth quarter, okay? Or Texas will run away with this one. And this is not a great Texas team that we're talking about, but it is a good team. And they're coming off a tough overtime loss to a number 5 team in the country in USC. Okay, so they have built a little bit of confidence now. We've got a freshman quarterback that's really starting to step in and find his way, similar to Nate Stanley at Iowa. This kid came in untested and unproven, really, and he stepped in week 2 and has been great since. He played a great game against USC, so it'll be imperative that Iowa State crowd and the atmosphere stays electric, okay, throughout the entire game. Texas has not played in an atmosphere like they're going to play in tonight, okay, and I can confidently say that. They played San Jose State. That was no chance. That was at home. Okay, USC last week. That's the closest atmosphere they played to. But those USC fans, they sit on their hands at the basketball, just like Iowa fans at basketball games. Okay, USC fans, that stadium's lame. I don't care what people say about that stadium, but it's lame. So no, and Maryland was a home game for Texas. Okay, so tonight will definitely be the loudest, most raucous crowd, electric environment that Texas has played in this year. There's no doubt about it. It's imperative that it stays that way from the time that the players run out of that tunnel and then the fireworks go off until the game is won. Okay, so we got to play 4 quarters. That's a must for sure. And the third thing for me is more of a statistical thing, but we absolutely have to, and this is the third key to winning the game. Okay, this is a must. Okay, we have to run. We have to establish a running game. We absolutely have to. Okay, in our 2 wins this year, the Cyclones have averaged 162 yards of rushing offense. What does rushing offense do for you? It opens up the plays in the passing game. Okay, think about it. That doesn't take a head football coach of Pee Wee football to understand what the establishing a running game does. It does great things. It keeps Texas off the field. Okay, generally a team can't score if they're not on the field. Okay, it extends possessions, extends drives, it's demoralizing, and it's imperative that Iowa State develops a run game tonight early and often and rushes for over 150 yards of total offense. On offense, they need to rush for more than 150 yards. Okay, that's my stake tonight. This game will be won. Okay, if the third down percentage rate is above 50%, if Iowa State can keep an electric atmosphere and keep the crowd pumped and Jack Trice rocking all night long on national television, what a great thing for recruits to see. A great thing. And there will be a few recruits there tonight. As I mentioned, the NFL scouts will be in the house also. Okay, but the third and final thing is we have to rush for 150 yards of rushing offense. No less than that. If we rush for less than that, I think we had our one loss this year to the team out east. We had 120 yards of total offense, or of rushing offense, excuse me. Okay, it's imperative that we get above the 150 mark in the rushing offense for Iowa State to be successful tonight against Texas and to open up the Big 12 season 1-0. Finally, turnovers, special teams. Always 2 crucial parts to a game. Okay, every coach talks about this all week long. Turnovers and special teams. Okay, because generally when you're at practice all week long, you're working on offensive stuff, defensive stuff. And you don't get to spend as much time focusing on something like special teams. But what 9 out of 10 times comes up huge in a game? It's a field goal. It's an onside kick. It's pinning your opponent deep with a punt. It's kicking the football on kickoffs into the end zone, eliminating the chance for the team to return it. Okay, those are huge parts of the game, integral parts of the game. But like I mentioned, the most important parts to winning tonight for Iowa State, we'll just rehash them real quickly. Okay, getting off the field on third down, electric atmosphere, rush for 150 yards. Those 3 things happen. Iowa State will be victorious tonight against Texas. We'll see everybody at Jack Trice. It's going to be a rocking tailgate as well. I think we're going to get up there about 3-ish this afternoon. BC Divide crew will be up there tailgating, possibly jump up in the press box for the game tonight, live tweet it, but we'll have post-game reactions and possibly some interviews. Have a good Friday. Actually, it's Thursday. Have a good Thursday, and then enjoy your Friday also after a Cyclone victory. This is Cody. I'm out.